I'm Linda Gale from BNI Berkshire, Gloucestershire and Wiltshire. I'd like to welcome you to my BNI Meets regional spotlight series, where I sit down with some of our incredible members to share their stories, their successes, and the real benefits they've experienced through BNI. Each episode will dive into the business journeys of our members, learning about what they do, how they help others, and how the power of BNI connections have helped them to grow both personally and professionally. Whether you're already part of BNI or just curious about what makes this global business network so powerful, these conversations will give you an inside look at the relationships, referrals, and results that make BNI truly unique. So let's get started and meet today's featured member. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this session of BNI Meets. This afternoon, we have Linda Sujeewon here from Reloved Style. So welcome.
Hello, hello.
Thank you for coming. We're going to first start by talking a bit about your BNI journey, and then we're going to go on to learn more about the wonderful things that you do that I've been very lucky to experience. So let's get in with your BNI story first. When did you first join, and what attracted you to BNI?
So I joined BNI in 2019, I went to visit May 2019. I'd been in business for about a year, and I'd come from a teaching background, and where basically your clients, they've got to come to school because it's the law.
Yeah.
And so I kind of thought, I went into business thinking, people will find me. I'm great at what I do. I've got a great product. I've got great service. They'll find me. And I think I've been in business for about 3 or 4 months, and I had a few clients, but not a steady stream. And then I bumped into a stylist who I trained with, and I said, "How's it all going?" And she said, "It's going really, really well, And I said, "What are you doing that's bringing in the clients?" And she said, "I'm networking. Would you like to come to a networking group?" So she introduced me to a women's only networking group at that point, which was fine, and because traditionally stylists work with women.
Yeah.
And I went and I loved it, and I joined, and I went to some other networking groups. And then in May, I was contacted by the wife of somebody who was in BNI, and she was looking for a sub for her husband. And she said, "Are you free?" And she said, and it'd be good for you to go to BNI as well. And I said, "Yeah, sure. I'll, give anything a try."
Yeah.
So I went to sub for this person, for this member, and blown away by it. Absolutely blown away. And it was a core group at the time. Yeah. So it was Tour de Force. Yeah. They hadn't yet launched, and it was just phenomenal. I thought, I want to be part of this. Particularly as by that point I'd been in business for about a year, and I'd realised that I actually wanted to work with men as well as women, and so it makes sense then to do networking where they're men and women. Yeah. So I thought this is a no-brainer. So I literally joined that day.
Nice.
Yep.
Excellent. I think I might have been there that first meeting you went to as well, actually, at the science part, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Cool. So what was your business like before joining BNI, and what challenges were you facing at the time? Obviously, you wanted to get more clients, but was there anything else that, the challenges that you might have had?
So I was getting clients, but it was, they were few and far between. So I wanted to increase the frequency of the clients that I was having. I was also mostly getting them to come in for colour, but I wanted them to come in for style. And I had the opportunity to work with a few guys, and I thought, I really want to kind of explore this kind of aspect of my business. And so BNI came around at exactly the right time, because I thought, do you know what? I don't just, exclusively want to work with women. I really enjoy working with men. So, and what I realised about networking, it is absolutely true that networking does increase your visibility as a business, and as a new business and a business owner who'd never been in business, it did all of that. But what I realised was you've got to choose the right networking group for you, for your business and for your lifestyle. And BNI is that one for me. Yeah.
Perfect. Cool. Do you remember your first few meetings, and what were your early impressions of the chapter and its members?
Yeah, it was incredible because it was a core group. We hadn't yet launched, and we were. I became part of that core group, and there was an incredible buzz in the room every single week, and the buzz was, we want to create something new. We want to be, I really fell in love with the Giver's Gain theory. I really enjoyed thinking about, hey, you can give back to other people as well as receiving. That really resonated, and it was really great to be part of something that was brand new and to be part of a group that, we were. It was just exciting. Every single week was exciting, and just the excitement in the room, the buzz in the room every week, where there was like literally 20 or 30 people who were all thinking about, oh, look at this new thing. People were joining, after the first, second meeting, because they could see the potential of working with these other incredible people. So, yeah.
And I think in a core group, you get quite a good flow of visitors, don't you, coming through? I mean, yes, you get them in launch groups as well, but because there's so many more categories available in a core group, you get a lot more people over a shorter space of time coming in and visiting. So building those connections and relationships with it feels like sometimes more people in a core group situation than actually in a launch group. Yeah, cool. Okay. What's been the most valuable aspect of BNI for you?
That's difficult to say, because there have been just so many positives to belonging to BNI. Obviously, everybody joins because they want to grow their business, and you want to grow, the frequency of referrals that you get, and it's done that. But actually, and that's maybe why you join BNI. But the reason you stay in BNI is because you make those relationships with other people. Yeah. I would say that everything that I know about business, I've learned through BNI, because the people, when you have a one-to-one with somebody, and people were incredibly generous about the advice they gave me, the time they gave me. I met business coaches. I'd never worked with a coach before. So I would say it's the lifelong learning you get from BNI, and also the relationships that you build. Because we know that people come and go from BNI, but actually they don't come and go from your life. They stay in your life. Yeah. You're bonded to them. I'd say it was the learning that I received, the incredible generosity from people, and the relationships that I've evolved. That's what keeps me in BNI. Yeah. Nice.
Good. Okay. Can you share a standout referral or success story that's come directly from BNI?
So, I'm going to tell you this story. It might not seem that incredible, but to me, it was, having come from a non-business background. So there was somebody in the group who passed me a referral. She was a fitness instructor, and she passed me a referral of a very good friend of hers who was a chiropractor, and for a colour analysis. So the chiropractor came, had her colour analysis, and from that one connection, I then got about 7 different chiropractors, all one after the other, who saw how great she looked and said, "You look incredible, you look brilliant, what's happened?" And they said, "I've worked with Linda, let me refer you on to her." And I got this, literally, it was about 7 chiropractors in the room. I know all about being a chiropractor. And also what came from that was some collaborations that I did with some of those chiropractors. So it really is, you don't know where that referral is going to take you in the future.
Yeah.
It's all the ripples that come from that one referral is what is the amazing thing.
Yeah. You never know who somebody knows.
Yeah.
Okay. How has BNI helped you grow personally and professionally?
It has. As I said, I came from a teaching background. So I knew that the service that I provide and the training that I had to do that was good. Well, more than good, was excellent. I knew that I had a good product.
Yeah.
But in terms of running a business, when I look back at it, I was so green. And actually my business has survived COVID. I mean, so I was classed in the beauty.
Yeah.
We were lumped in with the beauty industry.
Yeah.
And Boris, in his wisdom, closed us down, and we were the last to go back.
Yeah.
So my business has survived COVID, Brexit, and it's survived leaving the franchise that I belonged to originally and a rebrand.
Yeah.
And I would not have even have considered leaving the franchise and going on my own if I had not been in BNI, because I knew I had enough connections, enough personal development, enough learning, enough support within BNI to actually do that. And so I would not have even considered that. If you'd have asked me, 7 years ago, will you go out on your own? I would have said no. I need the support of another company to support me.
Yeah.
So it has helped me incredibly as a person and as a business to grow. Yeah.
Nice. Excellent. Okay. What role have one-to-ones and deeper member relationships played in your journey?
So certainly when I'm working, one of the most important things I do with a client is really get to know who they are so that I can help them. And therefore doing one-to-ones in BNI, which is why it's such a central, important key activity that members should do, is that, once you've had a one-to-one with somebody, you can connect with them on a human level. You can then really be drilling down and finding out, what is it that this business does? Because even though that person stands up every week for 50 weeks of the year, it's not for very long. And it's not until you do a one-to-one with somebody that you really get under the skin of, oh, I didn't know you did that. Oh, I didn't know you were interested in that. Oh, I didn't know you knew that person. Oh, you're connected to that person. And once that's what's growing your trust in that person, and that's what's growing the trust in you, is having that one-to-one and building that relationship. And so I think if you're not doing your one-to-ones, you're really not getting the most out of BNI, because you don't really know the people that are in your group, your chapter. Yeah.
But even just a shared interest, shared hobbies, stuff like that can go such a long way to building a much deeper relationship when you've got a shared interest.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's particularly good when you're having a one-to-one with a member that you wouldn't naturally think that you have a synergy with.
Yeah.
So it's easy when you think, oh yeah, I've spotted somebody that I think I can get on with. It's easy to have a one-to-one with them.
Yeah.
It's even more powerful when you have a one-to-one with somebody that you wouldn't naturally gravitate towards.
Yeah.
Or if you're finding out about a business that you know nothing about. I once had this really fantastic one-to-one all about Screed. Who knew Screed could be so exciting? But this person was telling me all about Screed and what he does with it and how he helps people. And I just thought, wow, I'm just blown away at the expertise that people have that is different to mine.
Yeah.
So, it's even more powerful when you're with somebody who you wouldn't naturally gravitate towards.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Looking ahead, how do you see BNI continuing to support your goals as your business evolves?
So I love being in BNI, and I'm going to be 60 big 60 in July.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so I'm thinking about what happens for the next few years.
Yeah.
What happens with my business? Where do I want to take it? I haven't formulated the idea, but I know that BNI is going to be there alongside me wherever I'm going to take it. So, and that's what I think the beauty of BNI is that you've got that support mechanism behind you. So if you pivot to do something else, you can do that successfully. You can feel safe that you're going to try something new, and even if it goes belly up, doesn't matter. You've tried it. People helped you. People help you if it goes wrong. And also, conversely, if it goes really, really well, you think that's great.
Yeah.
These people that have helped me can share in that success. So I'm at that stage of my life where I'm thinking, where do I want to take my business? Do I want to take it bigger? Do I want to scale it down? Am I happy with it? Do I want to offer small products? Do I want to work with different people? Do I want to go and work with, my dream client would be to have worked with, Claudia Winkleman.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just know that I want to stay in BNI while I explore those ideas and take my business where it's going to go in the next few years.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, whatever you do, as you're always evolving, there's always somebody there that's going to help you evolve. But, like we've said, you just never know who somebody knows.
Yeah.
It's quite incredible that, 6 degrees of separation and all that kind of stuff. And the world is becoming a much smaller place. So you ask for somebody, more often than not, you're going to get somebody that is either that person or somebody very similar or somebody that knows somebody that you want to connect with. It's incredible. And I think, with all the connections that we've got in BNI, as directors nationally as well, that also makes the world a much smaller place.
Yeah. And, 7-8 years ago when I was starting up the business, I'm doing things now that I could never have dreamed of, that I would have evolved and developed. So I know that I can take it into other directions. I want to be in BNI and be doing that within BNI. So yeah.
Perfect. Cool. Okay, right. Let's get on to styling.
Okay.
This is exciting. Okay. So, for those of you who haven't been lucky enough to work with you as having a styling consultation, describe what a personal stylist actually does.
Okay, so a personal stylist works with a client to find out. So basically, there's a famous quote that says, your style says everything about you before you've opened your mouth, before you've said a word. Your style is saying something about you. And a stylist basically helps clarify in the client's mind what it is that they want to say to the world through their clothes. So it's a shortcut to tell everybody, this is me, take me or leave me, because I'm happy with it. This is me. And, and if you want to work with me, you can. If you want to talk to me, you can. If you feel like I'm not your cup of tea, that's fine as well. But I'm doing it authentically to me. So that's what a stylist should be doing, is helping their client feel like they are authentically presenting themselves to the world.
Okay, nice. What are some common misconceptions people have about personal styling?
Oh, so many. Right, so I'll just do 3.
Yeah.
First one is a lot of people have this misconception that working with a personal stylist is very expensive. Okay, it isn't, because when you actually tot up how much the clothes in your wardrobe that you are not wearing cost, that isn't even like one iota of what any stylist would charge you to work with them. So loads of people up and down the country have got clothes that they're not wearing, and if you added how much that was, that's a lot of money. And a stylist doesn't cost anywhere near that. So that's the first myth. Second myth is that black suits everybody.
Yep.
It does not.
No.
It does not. It does not. So I help clients find colours. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't wear black. If you want to wear black, I help you to wear black successfully. But what I want you to do is tell you that there's a whole other rainbow of colours that you have at your disposal that are like power tools that you can use for whatever situation. That's the next myth. And the last myth, which is the biggest myth, is that if I wear baggy clothes, it will make me look thinner and disguise my curves. No, it won't. It'll just make you feel more dumpy, more unhappy, more upset about who you are, not make you feel body confident, and you're not kidding anybody. So let's not do that. So that's the problem, is that there's a lot of mythology, a lot of hype and retailing and upselling that goes on to particularly women to make them not feel body confident, to make them not feel confident. And a stylist, a good stylist, will say, no, ignore all that noise. Let's look at you. Let's listen to what you need, what you want, how you want to present yourself, and we will find you some clothes that represent that so that you feel great from the inside out.
Yeah. Nice. Good. Okay. How do you help clients identify their personal style, especially when they feel unsure or lack confidence?
Okay, right. So that is a very good question. So, I have various things that I do with a client if they're coming for a style session. If they've come to me via a telephone conversation, I have a long conversation before they arrive. I will send out, an email about the process, about what's going to happen. I always ask them, what are your objectives? What do you want to get out of this session? Because I want to make sure that I cover those. And then when they arrive, we spend a good half an hour just having a cup of tea together, chewing the fat about everything and nothing, so that they feel comfortable. Because telling somebody about your style, you're basically telling them about your personality and what's happened in your life.
Yeah.
They have to trust you.
Yeah.
I also ask them to do a short little quiz and to bring some clothes with them that, number one, that they enjoy wearing, and number two, they either don't like wearing and they've got no idea why they bought it, or they bought it but they don't know what to do with it. And all of that put together helps me work out what that person's personality is like. And I also do, particularly if it's a woman, I need to measure them, have a look at their body shape. It's much easier with a man because they've only got 3 body shapes.
Yeah.
So, which is why it's very easy to work with a man, whereas there could be up to 26 with a woman, which is why it's actually difficult.
Yeah.
So it's quite a complex process to actually find out somebody's personal style. Now, because I've been doing it for quite a while, there are some clues that I'm looking for that people reveal in themselves that they're not aware that they're revealing. So I'm thinking, I'm testing this theory that they might be this personality. So then I would then ask them some questions and say, depending on what their answer is, that's leading me down a route. So it's a bit like when I'm doing the colour analysis, I say it's a bit like a maze.
Yeah.
We want to get to the centre, which means we've arrived at you.
Yeah.
But we might go down some blind alleys, it might be a bit convoluted. With some people we go straight to A to B and then it's really simple. With other people it's much more complex. I have had some clients where actually interesting clients where they've been sent by somebody else because of work and they've been a bit resistant to discuss themselves. And eventually they have said, I am actually this person that you say that I am. And it's taken a while.
And they don't realise.
And they don't realise.
Yeah.
Or one lady said, I always thought that was who I was, but that's kind of like a weak personality. And I said, no, it's not weak. If you mean it's a kind, compassionate personality. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And I said, and if you mean sometimes people are not very nice to you because of it, yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So some people, are hiding who they really are because of things that have happened to them. So that's why they've got to trust me, and it takes a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Can you walk us through what a typical client transformation can look like from first consultation to final outcome?
Yeah. So in terms of the process, right. So basically, if they were coming for colour, which is very simple. So some people come and they want to do colour and style together. Some people they'll do colour first and then they'll do style later on. If they're coming for colour, basically I've got a set of 144 drapes, which I will put up against the person, and then I will analyse them using colour theory and say, yes, this is your season and these are your best colours.
Yeah.
That's actually quite straightforward. The style session is much more complicated, as I say, because there are lots of complex layers to a personality. You have to look at their body shape, you have to look at their lifestyle, you have to look at what profession they're in, what they need their clothes to do. So that takes a while. And often... So I would say with my female clients, they often come because something has triggered them to come to reset themselves. So that might have been a bereavement, it might be menopause, pregnancy, it might be redundancy, turning 50, a relationship fail, a divorce, all sorts of reasons. It might just be they've got to a certain point in their life, they've been looking after a lot of them, their family, and suddenly they thought, you know what, I'm done with them having all that time. Who am I?
Yeah.
What am I? I thought I was this, and I don't know if I am anymore.
Lost a bit of direction.
Lost their style mojo, lost their mojo, lost their direction. And so what I do is then spend time reconnecting themselves, really reconnecting them with who they are. I'm not telling them actually anything new, really. What I'm doing is, do you remember this girl? Do you remember that guy? Do you remember he used to do that? Do you remember this girl? She used to be like this.
Yeah.
So I'm reconnecting them with that. And so that's why a lot of this is about talking, chatting, having a laugh, looking at their clothes. It's a bit like when, girls go round to each other's houses and they take out their clothes out and they have a try on.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like that. And then at the end, I'm able to say, right, based on everything that you've said, this is the style personality that I think you are, and these are the clothes that I think suit you. Tell me if you agree with what I've said. But because we've gone through this process together, they say, yeah, that is exactly me. And we've done it together, so it's not something I've imposed on them.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them to go away and say, my stylist said I'm this, but I don't think I am, and I'm not buying those clothes. No, I want them to go away and say what a lot of clients say to me is, I feel seen, and yes, I'm going to go out there and just nail that now.
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting as well, because I've obviously been to see you, and recently organised for my sister, who, like you say, was going through a life stage. She just turned 60 and was feeling invisible. And the change in her in the last, 4 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. She is constantly messaging me pictures that she's found on Vinted or wherever. What do you think of this? Because when she came to you, we went out for her birthday like the day or two after, and she had one of my dresses on, which she really liked. She nicked my leather jacket, which she really liked. And she said, yeah, Linda says this really suits me. And I'm like, it does. You look amazing. And just almost like that instant confidence glow up, because I know people are using the glow up phrase now. Totally different. Totally different. And the way she's shopping and, looking out for certain things that you've said, and how can, two sisters be so different in style, Because I'm bold and out there
Yeah.
and colourful
Yeah.
and, you know, what am I, cool spring
Yeah. Yeah.
and a natural romantic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And Alison is an autumn.
Yeah.
Cool autumn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
she
mean,
can,
yeah.
she can wear gold and silver jewellery
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
But more of a, you know, her pixie haircut
She's-
really
yeah,
suits her.
yeah.
And little ditzy print suits her, doesn't suit me. Just amazing how different
Yeah.
two sisters can be.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why I love doing what I do, because I want my clients to walk out thinking, do you know what? I'm happy with myself now.
Yeah.
And I've started a journey
Yeah.
that I can carry on my own because I've got the skills now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go and, you know, lose that weight or
Yeah.
do that new role or get that new job or do that thing that I've been putting on the back burner, and have a zest for life now
Yeah.
that I had lost.
Yeah.
Because it had got buried under a shed load of life,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So, so that's why I love doing my job.
Yeah. Well, and you know, you massively helped me. My wardrobe looks completely different after I came to see you. But even now, when I'm shopping, I've always got, like, you sat on my shoulder. I take my colour wheel with me, or you know, and just amazing the difference.
And it just makes life easier.
Yeah.
Because we're busy.
Yeah.
Everybody's busy.
Yeah.
We haven't got time to, you know, spend endlessly scrolling over things.
Yeah.
So it's a time saver.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be able to do this quick, efficiently, get your best bang for your buck,
Yeah.
and know that I'm going to walk into this shop and what I want is going to be there and
Yeah.
walk out with it.
Yeah.
That is like a perfect day. You don't want to be wasting 6 hours of your Saturday trolling around looking for something.
Yeah.
When actually you can do it in 20 minutes. And so, you know, I love being able to save people time, but more importantly, they've gone off and they feel like they are back to being the person they want to be. And they're happy.
Yeah.
Because we kind of like forget to be happy. We're too busy surviving sometimes.
Yeah.
And what I want them to do is thrive.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think also, you know, the compliments that you get from people outside once you've had a bit of a transformation is a massive confidence booster.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just picks you up and, you know,
Yeah.
carries you forward.
Yeah. In fact, when I was training, one of the trainers said, "Did you know, don't know why everybody doesn't do what, you know, work with a stylist, because the worst thing that could happen to you as a client is that someone's going to compliment you." How terrible is that?
Yeah.
And the thing is, culturally in this country, you know, if somebody says you look great, or, you know, you look lovely today, oh, I bought it in Marks and Spencer's, or I bought it at the sale, you know, and you think, no, because
Trying to justify what you're doing.
Yeah. Whereas if you're in France, you'd just say merci beaucoup.
Yeah.
And if you're in Italy, they would say, what took you so long to notice that I look fabulous? You know, so, you know, we in England, we you know, we need to be a bit more, you know, a bit more bold about who we really are and celebrate it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Cool. Okay. How do you tailor your services for different lifestyles, such as busy professionals, new mums, people going through challenges, that kind of thing?
Yeah. So, you know, that's why I spend a lot of time in the pre-setup, having a conversation with that person. Or if it's somebody who's buying a gift for somebody, I have a conversation with that person and say, tell me about your daughter, your sister, or what is it that you want them to gain from this? Because then when they come, I'm already thinking, how can I help this person? So, and depending on who it is, I will tailor the session to what that person needs. So, for example, you know, I've worked with, you know, I love working with business people. They want to be on brand so that, you know, suppose you're an IFA. If you're an IFA, there are a lot of IFAs.
Yeah.
How are you going to stand out from the crowd?
Yeah.
Well, you need to stand out from the crowd by being yourself. But what does that look like? And does that align with your business branding, your logo, your website, everything else that you spent a lot of money on? Does the way you present yourself align? If it doesn't, you need to tweak that, because you're missing a trick there. So it depends, what is their situation. I mean, I've had people who have been bereaved, who have come and they've said, you know, I'm ready now to go out and face the world. So they have the same session, but how I would approach them would be different.
Yeah.
Again, if I've had people that have had cancer who've either been cancer survivors or they're going through cancer, and so they need specific things that they need their clothes to do.
Yeah.
For example, which if you've not had that journey, you wouldn't even think about.
Yeah.
So it, the first and foremost, it is about having that very long conversation at the beginning to say, tell me about yourself, because then I know what I can do to help you.
Yeah.
Whereas if I just tell you a whole raft of stuff, one, you're overwhelmed, and two, you think, well, I don't think you can help me. So I always start with listening to them first. What is it that, where are you? What's been happening to you? Tell me about yourself. Then I can then say, I do this session where I do this and this and this. Does that sound like something that might help you?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
So I always listen very carefully to what they've said. It is a bit like being a detective.
Yeah.
And you've got to ask a lot of questions first, and then you say, right, based on these clues, and this is what this person needs, and then I suggest and recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay. So if someone is thinking of working with a stylist for the first time, what simple first step would you recommend they take?
Okay, so a simple first step would be that, if you've got social media, follow a couple of stylists that you quite like the way they dress or the way they approach things. Because stylists are all different. And that's one of the other myths that, is that some people think, oh, if I go with that stylist, she's going to make me dress like her. No. Or she shouldn't. He or she shouldn't, because there are some male stylists.
Yeah.
I would follow some stylists first and sort of like really get to, think, oh, what do these stylist people do? And then have a conversation. So a lot of people I know have had conversations with the stylist at John Lewis. Great. Go and speak to them. Have a chat with them. Go and approach somebody who's a stylist and say, what do you do? How does it work? Follow them on Instagram. There's loads of them that talk about what they do. Have a look at their websites. Lots of stylists have blogs where they will blog about specific things. Read their blogs, and if you think, that resonates with me, I'd like to work with that person. So, do your research, because every stylist is different. And you need to find a stylist that you're going to vibe with. And that's what I would say about, BNI as well, is that, you've got to choose a chapter and a networking group that is your tribe, because you're going to spend a lot of time with them.
Yeah.
And when you're working with a stylist, it's a bit like your relationship with your doctor or your dentist, or or the person who cuts your hair. It's quite an intimate relationship. So you want to choose one that is going to get you and you're going to get on well with.
Yeah.
So do your research, follow their Instagram, follow other Instagrams, read their blogs, and then message them and say, how does it work? They're all going to get, all stylists are happy to give 20-minute discovery calls and have a chat with you.
Yeah.
Every stylist will do that.
Excellent. Well, thank you. I mean, I knew quite a bit about it, having gone through the journey myself, but I think for people that don't really understand what it is, it's massively beneficial. I would advocate everybody has a colour and style consultation, because I think it massively helped me, not only with confidence and brand and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's just a total transformation. So thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
You're welcome. Okay, that's it for today's episode of my BNI Meets Regional Spotlight series. Big thank you to our guests for sharing their stories and insights with us. If you've been inspired by what you've heard and want to discover how BNI could help your business grow through referrals, relationships, and real results, we'd love to hear from you. Get in touch with me or your local BNI region. You can email me at linda@bni-bgw.co.uk to find out how you can experience the power of BNI for yourself. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to share and subscribe so you never miss another inspiring story from one of our BNI members. See you all next time. Thank you.